This unusual clock with two dials, dating from the middle of the 20th century, would have been used in a power station. It exploits the interesting phenomenon of a pendulum clock being sufficiently accurate as a reference standard that you can measure other things against it. In this case, the frequency of the mains, 50 cycles in the United Kingdom. Essentially that means the number of times the turbine is spinning each second, 50 times. So on the upper dial, the time is actually reflecting what's going on here with the pendulum, whereas the lower dial is driven by a synchronous motor plugged into the mains, and its timekeeping, its speed, therefore depends on that frequency remaining constant. Now imagine if everyone were to plug in their kettles and use lots of electricity at the same time. The load on the grid would go up, and that would mean that if you don't do anything about it, the power station would tend to slow down. If you were in a car travelling along and you keep your foot in exactly the same position on the accelerator and you go uphill, well again, the car would tend to slow down unless you speed up. The goal in the power station would have been to keep these two dials in step, basically to keep the lower one in step with the upper one. So if in relative terms the lower dial seemed to be lagging behind the upper dial, you'd basically turn up the power station, and vice versa. If this one were relatively ahead, then you'd slow down. All as a way of trying to maintain that accurate frequency and using a pendulum clock as your time base.